For all of you that are new, my name is Jennifer Rose and I am a spirituality coach. I am here because I want for people to find their spirit within them. And doing this, I have tried many different ways to hit different people because we all learn in unique ways that speak to us. Some people learn stuff by reading it. Some people are visual. Some people need aids, like giving them an example. Some people love hearing a story, so it reflects better on their story. Whatever the case is, people learn differently. Well, being a spirituality coach, trying to help people find their spirit within, you have to deep dive into yourself, what spirit means, what concepts mean, source, God, universe, creation itself, why we're here. You ask yourself these questions because that's how you get closer and closer to spirit. Now, on my YouTube channel, so just here for YouTube people, I want to deep dive and tell you what knowledge I am coming up with by having my spiritual experience, by doing research, by coming to you with a theory. And now a theory does not make it real or unreal. It just makes it one person's experience, research, and they're telling you what they believe. Now, for me, it's not about the evidence, because you can find evidence either way, that you're correct or you're not correct. But it's like the evidence of love. You could tell stories, you could say literally what love means, but at the end of the day, somebody has to tell you their feelings on the subject for somebody else to understand it. And that is what I am here for, is to help people understand a concept, a theory, a universal, what they believe to be true. If you can imagine, before March of 2023, I would say that I had some convictions, but I was 100% sold on anything regarding all these big concepts that we're going to talk about in this video series that I'm going to call Rose's Theories. It is more for the curiosity within us to know, why are we here? What is the purpose? Why did Jesus come? What does AI have to do with our future? Do we have two gods? Do we have one God? Is there beings that we can't see against us, for us? Is there different timelines? Is there different realms? All of these things from my spiritual experience, I had to deep dive into. For the first year, I took care of myself just to understand my own healing process. And that's where the 5 simple habits that I used, also the fears, the helpful tips, the work. You could say the simple was the leap into the 7 levels of being human. But until I taught all of you those levels, did I know how far I've come in my spiritual journey. I went from a human consciousness to a pure spirit consciousness. And that is what this video is about today. It is about spirit. It's about my belief that we have 2 consciousnesses that we deal with on an everyday basis. I'll let that sink in. There's a spirit that is put inside of us. And I believe this body, and I have theories about that I'll talk in a later video. But I believe that we're a spirit by something put us in here. I'm going to use my little egg. as an example. So spirit went in here as a baby. So the baby is pure spirit. And then that baby grows up, understands words. Now it starts to have a human consciousness. It starts to forget that it's pure spirit, source, God, and it starts to pick up humanness. This brain. We are born into this body and we are born into this brain. They even call the brain lizard brain, meaning that it is meant to keep you alive. So the baby is born, and now it's born to a human family or a human experience. Many children go into orphanages or foster care systems. Everybody has a different childhood story, childhood trauma. So you're pure spirit. Now you're put into a human family. Now this is where the programming starts. You're put in to now rules, religion, government, whatever it is. Now your spirit is now in a human body. And you don't know that you're in here. So now you have human consciousness taking over. But since the layers aren't too big, you still feel like you're still in the spirit. If you look at any small kids, their zest for life, not caring about what others think, they don't care what you look like, political views, nothing. They are just pure love. They're honest. If they like something, they don't like something, they're pure. But we put them into our own programming. Something I unfortunately did not know what I was doing because I was put in this too. So now you're a spirit trapped in a human's body. Now you go through the years and more layers are put on. More rules, more social cues that you have to put up with. If you lived in a communist country, you might have been more subjugated to certain views that you had to have, or you could be punished. Growing up in the United States, where we do have freedoms that many other countries don't, these layers are getting thicker and thicker. And as the years go by, as more programming takes place, more and more layers are between you and your spirit, until finally, now you are human consciousness. That negative brain to help keep you alive is kicking. And now why am I here? So I was given this download, if you want to call it that, the 7 levels of being human. Because something that saved me, let's say God, goddess, universe, source, wants me to bring this information to you regarding how you can graduate out of, you want to call it the game of life, what you can accomplish in your human existence. But the first thing that we have to do is deconstruct what being human did to you as a full spirit within you. That's why I take people from this to this. So with each layer that I take you through, first layer is being human. That we made mistakes. We saw our life as is. Talked about that in our honesty video. See the life as it is. self-accountability. I'm taking charge of my life. First level. Second level, now we're getting up to being a healer. Healing that human in us, because we have to heal this before we can get to the spirit. So now you have your healing. Now you become a teacher. Now you become an example of what it means to go from just human to spirit. Then you're taking off this human layers and working your way down. Now you're an angel level. An angel means that you are kind to every single person you meet. Even a person in conflict with, you send love. You are love. You no longer take anybody's stuff they want to hold on to. You're like, thank you, but I just give you love. So you get another layer. Now you get down to the observer. And you move all the way till you get to source. Now, before the observer, we have the student. So we have human, healer, teacher, student. And a student is, you are always humble. Always. You are forever a student. My kids teach me as much as I'm teaching them. A stranger can teach you as much as you can teach a stranger. Being a student. The observer, that is for you to embody what it is to be a spirit. What it is just to be you unapologetically. This is the part I talked in my videos. The hard part is getting through all of these layers that we talked about, that humanness. And we have to deprogram ourselves from here to get to where we want to, which is the spirit. And that's the last level of the 7 levels of being human, is the source level. That is where you embody your spirit. This is who you are. That is why the first purpose on earth is to heal yourself. Because you cannot go through these layers unless you heal all of the programming that was done to you from all your years, all your traumas. You have to get through. That is why my passion, my purpose was to heal, and I did that. And then my goal that they gave me, the spirit gave me, my spirit is instructing me to bring the 7 levels of being human to you, to go from your human consciousness to your spirit consciousness. That is why they say spiritual awakening. That is what that means, to become in spirit. And here's the thing about being in spirit. You are still very much human. You are not all-powerful being that can do anything. You are in spirit. Now, how do I know that we are 2 in 1? So when I was having my spiritual experience, people that were close to me said, Mom, it's like you were not your person. I believe what happened to me is I went from human consciousness straight into my spirit consciousness. I didn't get a transitional period. I just got plopped from human to spirit. And my human consciousness was like, what the heck? And it went to the back of the bus once I saw what full spirit could do. And I didn't understand this at the time. How could you? But now, deconstructing it, doing the research, meditating on it, That is what I believe happened. Two consciousness existed at the same time. And like we said, time is an illusion too. Because there's things happening within the experience. Who knows if you were in a different realm, a different timeline, whatever it was. But I was fully aware of being human and spirit. And when I hit that head-on collision during my spiritual experience, my spirit came alive. And I can tell you, when I ended up into that mental hospital, the human consciousness died and the spiritual consciousness was, I don't want to say non-existent, because what I became, Jennifer Rose, became just Rose during the mental hospital. She survived. And she was still very much in spirit, living a human experience, and has been healing ever since. And now Jennifer Rose, sitting next to you, because I feel like we are when you're on your phone, telling you that I don't come by this information lightly. I don't come to you with this information lightly. Obviously, when you put yourself out there, that you go against maybe some religious beliefs, or, you know, people, you're hitting on some truths that's upsetting to them. I totally get that. And that's why I'm just putting this on YouTube, because I know that I went on YouTube for answers. I went on YouTube to try to understand what happened to me. And I used it as a resource for me. And that's why I want to put this video on here as a resource for you to understand what it is to be spirit. Because that is me. Every time that I'm talking to you from my spirit to your spirit. And even though you're going through many layers of your human consciousness, all of this is possible with work. That you too can find your spirit. And when you find your spirit, you find your passion. You find your artistry. And that's not art that you see on the walls all the time. It might be computer programming. It might be solving cancer. It might be whatever it is to make this world a better place. You are sitting at a place of love, and all you want to do is serve. Serve however many people to make this human experience better. And that's why I do this, because I want people to find what I have found after the most horrific experience in my life, telling my truths to the world. I want to do this because I was saved so many times by the source, God, whatever you want to believe in. My spirit came alive. And I know that spirit, that I was told the truth of that experience, who I am. And I shared that with a couple of people. And someday I might share it here on YouTube. But for now, that is not the point. We are not any better or worse than anyone else in this world. We are all spirits, and we all went through a different experience. So we're not good. We're not bad. We're just finding our way to our spirit. Some people do not handle the transition from going right into a human body. And that's you have a lot of mentally ill people that might not be transitioning very well and experiencing things that we just don't understand. And I'm not saying that some people might very well have some problems, but somebody like me that was just given a diagnosis and drugs, one person in this world actually believed my story. And I appreciate that person so very much. But now I'm able to talk about my story with the people that I trust. Because by doing that, by trusting, by using your supports, you can be able to grow in your own spirit, because my spirit story isn't going to be the same as your spirit story. And that's what the beautiful thing is. If we are all part of Source, all put in these different dynamics, we're all going to turn out different. We're all going to have a different story, a different way we filter information. And that is one thing that I do get that I'm saying to share, is that all information has the truth in the silence of the notes. Every piece of information, music, movies, books, all have some truth into it, because we are all connected to one source. And in that source consciousness, all of us are linked. In some way, whatever experience that happened before seeps down into our consciousness, seeps down into an understanding. But here's the deal. We have to always go through these filters. So even the information that you get in scriptures, in everything, was filtered through a human, not through Holy Spirit. There's very few people in this world that graduated the system fully in spirit. We could probably talk about a few. Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Krishna. They could have very well been fully embodiment of their spirit that was within them, and they had a different transitional period back to Source. But all the stories are within us. All the truth lies within us. But because of this, we can't take everything as somebody says it. We just can't. We have to find the truth within us that resonates, that says, man, this makes sense. I understand that. And I never did with the Catholic faith. I'll be honest with you. Parts of it I understood, but parts of it I didn't. And now I'm getting, because of being raised Catholic, because of being laid up for 11 years and literally trying to find something that makes sense. So I went back to what I knew. So a lot of study into the Christian faith. There's a lot of good nuggets in there. But I think that with being human, you lose your way. It's like you have Source, and the further away that you get from Source, it all of a sudden becomes not what it was. You have to dig through the own layers for yourself to find what this is, the spirit, your truth. I hope you enjoyed my first Rose Theory video. I'm going to be putting out there anytime I feel intuitively to do something, I'm going to do it. But I want you to find the spirit within you. Blessings to all who see this.